Well, hello and welcome back to you witches, wizards and muggles out there. Today we are doing another character analysis video. I have done one on Dumbledore and Ginny. And I think I did one on Harry, I'm not entirely sure. But today we are going to be discussing Tom Riddle, aka Lord Voldemort. He is by far the most interesting character I have read thus far. He's just so interesting to get inside his head and to work out why he's doing all these bad things, especially when, you're just starting off reading Harry Potter and you're like, okay, what did he do to become bad? So we are going to be discussing him and which one I prefer, either the film version or book version. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so there are pros and cons to this character, I feel, especially when it comes to the movies and the books. The books give you more insight on more detail about, how he grew up and everything like that, but you don't really see that until the sixth book. From the first to the fifth, you only hear, how he became bad sort of thing. Like, when you're in the Philosopher's Stone, you sort of get a glimpse like, oh, he killed James Lily, tried to kill Harry, that's why he became famous. But you never really stood out why, you never really talked about why he became evil, basically. Yes, he started to gather followers, brought them over to the dark side, or that he killed them if they stood up to them, but never say why. Why did he do it, Then Chamber of Secrets came around. And you sort of get a glimpse with, Tom Riddle's Horcrux with the diary, and he was saying that, he framed Hagrid for, essentially killing Myrtle when he was the one who did it because he didn't want Hogwarts to close at the time, but at the same time, he was the heir of Slytherin. So you're like, okay, that's like a starting point, on that downward spiral of Voldemort. And then you never really hear about the third, about Voldemort, which is partly why I love Prisoner of Azkaban. But you do get a glimpse, you think, okay, Sirius Black was Voldemort's right-hand man, and then you discover it was Peter Pettigrew who sold Harry and James Lily out to Voldemort, and he was responsible for their deaths, pretty much. So you sort of get, okay, there's a little inner circle going on type of thing. Then comes Goblet of Fire. This is where things start to get interesting because Harry gets, the visions and all that sort of stuff. And then he, Cedric gets killed and essentially brings back Voldemort. And Voldemort sort of goes into this long monologue. Boy, he talks a lot. Anyway, but you don't really know how he started off being bad. And that comes into the Half-Blood Prince when Dumbledore and Harry go inside Tom Riddle's memories and go, okay, so you're sort of getting an insight as to how he started off, being in the orphanage, picking on the kids because they were picking on him type of thing. And then then you go to Hogwarts and then you see him, try to impress Slughorn with his knowledge and essentially get our information out of him, especially about the Horcruxes. And then you go, maybe that's the cause of his madness. And I have a theory on that. Did Voldemort turn mad because of how much Horcruxes he made? If he made less of them, would he have, say, been normal? I don't know. I think he might have done. I think he might have kept his sanity if he didn't split his soul so many times, but because he did, it's like the law of attraction, So, and then comes the Deathly Hallows, and you understand why Harry and Voldemort really can't kill each other because of the Brother Wands and things like that. So I personally prefer the books because of that way, but. And also, you get the character descriptions with the red eyes and nose, no nose, white, scaly face, long, slender hands, things like that. However, with the movie, because I was a movie person, I watched the movies before reading the books, so when I first watched Philosopher's Stone, it was with my best friend who came back from America. She said, oh, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is amazing, you'll love it. So I went to see the Philosopher's Stone when it came out in cinemas. And it was really weird to see a head attached to Quirrell. I thought of him as like the mummy, you know, with Brendan Fraser. So that's what it reminded me of, basically. But when he was with the Mirror Erised, I think that's how you pronounce it, and he was like that, saying there is no good and evil, there is only power in those too weak to seek it. And I'm like, okay, but how did Voldemort get into that mentality, you know? So I preferred the movie in the sense that you sort of get an idea of what he looks like. The only thing I did not like about the movies was when he got resurrected in the Goblet of Fire movie, but they didn't change his eyes. So he had, you know, the blue eyes instead of the red. And all I kept thinking about, I had nightmares about it for weeks actually when I read the Goblet of Fire, was that, you know, the bright red ruby eyes. And to me, it reminded me of the Sharingan from Naruto. Like, it was, ugh. But I was so disappointed that the movies didn't reflect that. And I like the books in the way that you sort of get extra details in the character descriptions, where they're from, things like that. You know what I would love to see? You know how they're doing the Fantastic Beasts, and then, like, you know, leading up to the defeat of Grindelwald. I would love to see Tom Riddle's story at Hogwarts, you know, like from the time Voldemort found him to the time he was starting to create the first Horcrux, until he killed James Lilly. I would love to see that, especially even, you know, James Lilly and, you know, Marauder's version of Hogwarts. I would like to see that too, you know, not just Harry's time at Hogwarts, which is amazing and it's beautiful, and that's how the whole story kicked about. But I would love to go back to the original roots. And, you know, Fantastic Beasts is how, like, you know, the story started off. But I would love to go into Tom Riddle's time and then go into James and Lily's time. So that way it all sort of connects together. And I would love it if J.K. Rowling wrote books about it. Even, you know, I don't classify The Cursed Child as canon, if you will. It's so confusing, that book. And, but I would love to see Scorpius, Albus's, Lily's, Rose's adventures at Hogwarts as well. So it could be like, okay, maybe the curse is falling onto Albus. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to see more about this world. And, you know, there's all these theories, there's all these stories, there's all these fan fictions that people are making up. Ditto, I make up my own as well. So I would love to see that as well. But the point behind this, I prefer books over the film version. So yeah, tell me what you guys think of it down below. I would very much like to hear what you guys think of this whole Voldemort character, about Voldemort. And leave me leave me a comment down below which character you would like me to do next. It could be anyone. I'm happy to do anyone from Harry Potter, even if it's like another book series. Leave it down below and I will definitely do that for you guys. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.